You'll be blown away by this information. Hey noobs! Thanks for pointing your internets to LAGD. We're here to provide legal assistance for game developers. I'm Lauren with New Media Rights, and together we can help keep your video game development from lagging behind. Get it? This episode is about the wonderfully exciting world of employment law. Yay! No, don't roll your eyes at me. This is some legit information that you need to know when hiring people to work on your game with you. You want to own what you pay for, right? And you don't want to get audited by the IRS? Well, alright then. Let's be friends for the next 5 minutes. So, independent contractors. Why do we dedicate an entire episode to them? Because they're awesome, but also because if your game is going to be a commercial operation, then you'll probably be paying at least one person to work on it. In the United States, there are two ways that you can pay workers, either as employees or as independent contractors. If you want to run a small development company, you typically don't want the people you hire to be employees if you can help it, because employees are expensive. You have to withhold taxes, pay unemployment insurance, workers' comp, make sure they get their breaks, conform to OSHA standards. This is why your goal is to hire everyone you can as independent contractors until you can actually afford employees. You're probably thinking, great, let me just call everyone an independent contractor, I'm done, right? Not that easy. Independent contractor status is hard to get and it's hard to keep. So this video is all about the steps that you can take when you're hiring people as independent contractors to ensure that they don't become employees without you realizing it. Why is this important? This is really important because the same person you hire as an independent contractor can sue you for a whole lot of money if they are misclassified, and the IRS can give you tons of problems. So, there are 3 big questions for this episode. Question 1, what can game developers do to make sure that the people they hire are independent contractors? Question 2, what problems may game developers face if they treat their independent contractors like employees? And question 3, what extra steps can game developers take so that they own all of the work that the independent contractors make for them? Question 1, what can game developers do to make sure that the person they hire is an independent contractor? The big difference between independent contractors and employees is the level of control that you have over the person working for you. If you're pretty hands-off about the things that the person you hired is doing, that person will probably be an independent contractor. If, on the other hand, you have complete control over every part of what the person is doing for you, that person is probably an employee. Let's use examples. Example number 1. Say this is you, find a concept artist on DeviantArt. This is her. You offer to pay her a fixed amount of money for 3 images. After that, you walk away. And you don't ever talk again until she sends you the final images. The images look great, you send her the money, and you don't talk again until you're working on your next game. This artist is a very good example of an independent contractor. You didn't control anything that she did at all. You gave her a task, she made some pretty pictures, and she decided when and where she was going to work on it, and just how pretty she wanted to make those pictures. Okay, example 2. Let's compare that to a very bad example of an independent contractor situation. Let's say that you find a local artist on Craigslist. Since you rent a small office, you tell the artist that they have to come in and work on the images at your office so that you can oversee what she's doing. You tell her she can't work on the art after hours because the changes she makes after hours confuse you. You tell her that she can't work on other games because you don't want her to be distracted. Every day you two have a meeting about how her work is going. For all of these reasons, this artist is probably an employee, not an independent contractor. Moving on, you may be thinking, Lauren, I already got this covered. I got the person I hired to sign a written agreement that she was an independent contractor, so I'm set, right? Unfortunately, courts and the IRS make it pretty clear that it doesn't matter what you say someone is or what the other person thinks they are, it just matters how you two behave. So even if the other person and you agree in writing that they're an independent contractor, if the way that you work together doesn't also reflect that, and then you get a call from the IRS, you may have some explaining to do. Think about it this way. I could tell a basketball coach that I'm 6 feet tall all day long. That doesn't make it true. I'm 5'3". Same with the IRS. Just because you say it doesn't make it true. So here are 5 tips to make sure that the people you hire are really independent contractors. You should know that not all of these are required, but more of these tips that you follow, the less likely it is that you'll run into problems. So, tip 1. Independent contractors should use their own tools when possible. For example, this means that if they can work on their own laptops and other major equipment, it might be better than providing computers for everyone. Tip 2, independent contractors should be allowed to work at their own location. If their job requires them to be somewhere specific, then disregard this. Or if you're working remotely from different parts of the country, this isn't even applicable to you. But just know that if there are parts of that person's task that can be done in any location, you should at least give that person a choice of doing it wherever he or she likes. Tip 3, try to be a little hands-off about the manner in which people get a task done. If you require everyone to work on Macs because that's the only way your software runs, that makes sense. But if you force someone to get a Mac just because you're their boss and you hate PCs, then your heavy-handedness might bring you closer to employer territory. You can definitely make people work within specifications, but as long as the person has a way of creating the product within those specs, don't be too controlling about the manner in which the person does it. Tip 4. If you do have employees, don't have your independent contractors doing the same or similar tasks as your employees. In fact, don't do anything that makes them seem like employees if you don't have to. For example, if you have a lead artist and a junior artist employee working with you, don't give the independent contractor the title of junior artist. Maybe add the word consultant to the person's title to make things clear. If the person is working on the project for a very short time, maybe allow them to use their own email address instead of a company email. Only let them attend staff meetings that are relevant to their job or not at all. Tip 5. Pay independent contractors per project and try to avoid paying them hourly or at a fixed yearly salary if possible. Alright, got the hardest part out of the way. Now let's see what some of the pros in the industry have to say about the process of hiring people onto their projects. After that, you should take some time and watch part 2 of the episode because we'll talk about the kinds of problems you may face if you don't follow these tips. We also talk about what extra steps you need to take so that you own all of the work that was created by your independent contractor. Thanks for sticking around and watching LAGD. If you found this information helpful, please donate at our YouTube channel or at newmediarights.org. I hope that you found this information out of this world. I don't know, maybe there's stars shooting out.